My name is Anthony DeCurtis. I teach in the creative writing program here. I teach a course called the Arts and Popular Culture and an advanced version of that same course, and also help oversee the RealArts at Penn internship program, which obviously you're here to hear about and we'll hear more about from the fine young people who served as the interns last summer. But essentially the idea of it is, you know, look, if you're interested in writing, as we all know, it's a kind of complicated terrain out there. And I know the word that I always like to use about the kind of skill and maybe even psychological mindset that is best suited for grappling with it is nimbleness. You know, you really have to have a sense of, you know, it's a shifting environment and you need, and can make use of a variety of types of skills. So to address that, we set up this RealArts at Penn program in which we typically have between 6 and 8 internships a year at a variety of media-related companies. You'll hear, you know, Rolling Stone is one of them, MTV is one of them, a company called Surefire Media has been one of them, and probably likely will be one again this year. Production companies, publishing houses, you know, a variety of lines of work that people who enjoy writing and are interested in it, you know, can find interesting things to do. You know, some of them obviously, like Rolling Stone, you know, involves actual writing. All of them involve writing to one degree or another, but they're not necessarily the most obvious choices. And I think that's part of what we were trying to accomplish, was setting up a sense on the part of students of the, again, the range of possibilities that an interest in writing can lead you in. And you know, we'll hear about what the experience of you know, the people who got these internships last year was, and then, you know, we'll take some questions. We'll have some food back there. We'll have a chance to talk informally. Mingo Reynolds is here from the writing program in the back. You know, she will be able over time to answer questions both today and by email and in person after that. And certainly you can contact me if you have questions that I could be of help with.
Yeah, so I'm Jared. I'm a senior creative writing major, and I did the MTV Networks internship. So basically, the program you'll work with MTV Networks is basically their in-house advertising studio. So they do everything from video to print pieces to social media stuff, and you're basically treated like like a junior copywriter there. So I think like from the first day, you like get put right into things. I showed up, I had a 5-minute meeting with my boss, and then she was like, okay, go write me a list of taglines for this campaign. She gave me like a little sheet describing it, and I was like doing things on day one. So you get your feet wet really fast there.
The editors there, I thought they're really good with working with you and making sure that you kind of get to know what working at a magazine is like. We got to sit in on an editorial meeting after one of the issues came out, and they just talked about what they liked, what they didn't like, what they were planning for the next issue, so it was cool to see that process. They gave us production tours, so we kind of got to see how the magazine comes together from start to finish. We got to have lunches with the web editors and with some of the senior writers who talked about profile writing, so they do a good job of introducing you to like all these different parts of the magazine, so you do learn a lot.
I was working with David and Stuart, who are both writers out in LA. They both have experience in television and film, and David also works in theater, and Stuart also has taken on a new venture to write children's books, really young adult novels. So with Stuart, I worked mostly on his young adult novels. I was doing a lot of research for him. He was writing about France and a spy school, and so he had me researching weapons and history, and so I'm in the library with all these very bizarre books. I also got to edit a lot of his drafts, which was really amazing because as the next draft would come to me, I would see my changes in it, and one of his books actually just came out, and it's just amazing that I helped impact that.
The owner of Granary Books, Steve Clay, he's kind of expanding into this new area, which is archiving. So basically what that means is he's very well networked with all of the artists in New York, basically from the 80s onward. And they get to this point in their life where they need a bit of extra money because they're still artists. And they have these huge archives of letters, memorabilia, artwork, and often all of their friends have also become really famous. And so therefore all of these letters now are really valuable and provide kind of a history of what went on in that time period. So the first couple weeks I started straight in with an archive of a poet called Janet Hamill, and she was best friends with Patti Smith and worked on writing Patti Smith's memoir with her, called Just Kids. Some of you might have read it. And so I was basically responsible. Steve walked in, he had like 2 huge boxes of basically letters. It was just like, here, sort them. And so I just like opened letter after letter after letter, and you're reading like really intimate details of these people's lives and sorting them into like who they're from and everything. And I didn't know anything about this period. I'm a medieval person. I study medieval literature, and I had like, I knew who Patti Smith was, but that was about the extent of my knowledge. So the whole summer was just kind of a learning process in figuring out these people, but I got to learn it in a really cool way. I got to read their personal lives and learn about them that way.
So I got to sit in all the production meetings. I was a PA on the set. I was an extra. I got like killed, and it was really gory way. It was a lot of fun. And then John came back for like the last 2 weeks, and all of a sudden the office was crazy for 2 weeks. He was doing post on the movie that he had just shot. He was sending me scripts that he had written that I was writing comments on, and I was meeting with him in his office to go over, what I thought was working, what I thought wasn't working, it was of course a little bit intimidating, but it was really, really fun, really exhilarating, and it was basically a summer of just reading and writing. That's so much of what I did, and that's what I want to do. So if you want to write scripts, if you want to be, I guess, immersed in this world for a summer, it's an incredible experience.